Welcome to the most undisputed, anticipated WWE news, rumors, headlines, and more. This is WWEKhanToolz, and today I'm going to be talking about reviews. The weekly review is finally back for Raw and SmackDown. So here we go. Let's do this. So September 22nd of 2014 for Raw. Alright, so here it is. So the September 22nd edition of Raw, it didn't really have the kind of spark that really one person expects from a following pay-per-view show post. You know, there was a lot of rematches, you know, that keeping the Night of Champions Fallout show from being anything special, to be honest. I think Mark Henry's emotion, Dean Ambrose's aggressive energy, and Dolph Ziggler's title win really highlighted the night. Those type of moments were really great, but no surplus of highlights. I think the in this show, the company, the WWE, have made it clear that which rivalries will be continuing and which seem to be, you know, just reserved for television, and while others will likely play a big part for the upcoming pay-per-view Hell in a Cell, which, by the way, I will be releasing this weekend my match cards for the following pay-per-view, and my predicted match cards, which have been a major success in my channel. If you can see over the past 2 years, then you'll probably understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, so the following reviews all about the segments, matches, and moments, and my grades and analysis of what I think and how effective this storytelling really was, and how entertaining the performances were. So let's begin. Let's do this. Right at the start, Dean Ambrose paced around the ring before even shouting to the crowd about being back. I think the footage of Seth Rollins stomping on his head really played on the big screen, and really he said that he wouldn't leave the ring until he got his hands on Seth Rollins, and he propped out a chair and waited. And then you probably expect something to happen. That was John Cena to arrive, looking as aggressive as Ambrose was, and a lot of tension built in this following moment and this segment, I thought, to be honest. But anyway, the thing was that the tension was between him and the former member of the Shield, who, you know, got a crack at Rollins, and this led Triple H to come out as the authority. And just when it looked like Ambrose and Cena were going to start fighting, the game said that no one is going to fight Rollins, but the two babyfaces ran out of the ring and actually brawled with anyone within a strike range. And really, it was pretty shocking, to be honest. But the Ambrose, you know, chasing Rollins through the crowd, and backstage Cena and Ambrose trying to grab hold of their common enemy, you know, but he slipped away and stealing the car and escaping. You know, that was something that was pretty interesting. You know, backstage, a lot of backstage brawls, a lot of backstage escaping, and it was pretty interesting to watch as the two baby faces, you know, just try to attack and go after Rollins. So that was something pretty interesting that I thought. A lot of quotes that I was pretty interested, you know, especially with Ambrose. I think Ambrose's mic skills were pretty improved after he came back. You know, like, I never get tired of punching Seth Rollins in the face, or I'm not dead. You know, those type of things really suited Ambrose. You know, so I think the segment, I give it a 3 out of 5 stars. I thought it was a decent segment. You know, I thought it was fine, to be honest. So, you know, so I thought you know, a decent start way off to Raw. I think the tension between Ambrose and Cena, you know, teased a lot of feud down the road, so kind of teasing a future feud between these two in the future. So anyway, you know, it makes sense too, because Ambrose's character, you know, doesn't really trust Cena, and this would have a lot of friction, you know, with him, and he is a lone wolf and the anti-hero to Cena's superpower. That's how that's how I say it, to be honest. Anyway, yeah, a decent start off to Raw, I'd say. I mean, it could have been a bit more better, but you know, but anyway, just as it got better, I thought it went better. I mean, you know, Miz proudly held up his newly crowned IC championship 4 times on the way down to the ring, but then Damien Sandow, mirrored him, because them two were saying, were wearing the same attire and carrying a paper replica of the title. So both of them actually had titles. But anyway, Dolph Ziggler seemed, a lot of powered by a focus. He had a lot of extra focus because he knew that this was his last chance. Anyway, what I'm saying is it was Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz for the rematch for the IC Championship. So anyway, Sandow really nearly cost Ziggler the match with a distraction, but pretty much the show off, countered the roll up, grabbed hold of The Miz's tights for the win, and Ziggler won by pinfall. He has won back the championship, and really the memorable moments was Ziggler celebrating with the fans after reclaiming his title, and also the best part was Ziggler kicking out of the skull crushing finale. That was the part that really got me shocked, because these two are amazing competitors. I mean, one guy has headlined WrestleMania 27, the other guy has made one of the most memorable Money in the Bank cash-ins last year against Alberto Del Rio. So really, this was I give it 4 out of 5 stars. This match really was great. Their chemistry was great together. They both made the IC title feel like a prize worth giving to someone, and the issue is that the championship has now changed hands so often in the last few months. The reigns have also felt a bit insignificant, and the champs really had little chance to build any momentum. So really The Miz hasn't really had that much momentum, and the fact that Dolph Ziggler hasn't had much momentum either to be the champion. But now that he's back as champion, maybe this might not be The Miz is not going to get a title rematch. I think this is it for The Miz. I think it's over for The Miz. I think there'll be a new contender for the championship, but switching the titles back and forth feels a bit cheap and a bit short-sighted, I think. But the great work doing together and suffers because of that. The Miz and Ziggler had a lot of great work, and I think this was a great feud, to be honest. This was something really cool, so I give this match a 4 out of 5 stars. So Raw pretty much got better and better, but then just before you say that, it was a little bit of a below mid-card match, Jack Swagger versus Bo Dallas, and Bo Dallas really had Jack Swagger really early, and knees to the head and a lot of clothesline, had a little bit of a upset, on the horizon. But the thing was Swagger responded with that Swagger bomb, but then he soon found himself crashing to the mat, off balance, and on the defense. Swagger finally dodged his foe, caught him back with the ankle lock, and really the submission was succeeded. It was successful. Swagger won by submission. I'm happy with how the match went, and yeah, I think that was something that was you probably wanted to happen. The best quote I would probably say was from Zeb Coulter when he said, "I believe that Jack Swagger has made you tap out." So that was something really cool that I like to think. The chemistry between Zeb Coulter and Jack Swagger, I just said Jack Swagger, the chemistry between these two is great. I think they are truly the real Americans. So yeah, that was something that was good. So I give the match 2.5 stars. I would say 2 out of 5 stars, 2.5 out of 5 stars. Then it was Natalya versus Summer Rae. I thought this seemed a bit off, I'd say. I mean after Summer did a lot of trash talking, she slapped Natalya and kicked her onto her back. But then Summer was really aggressive and vicious, and she didn't really have control that much. But Natalya escaped the hold, went on a brief flurry as Rosa and Layla fought outside, and it was literally a chaos everywhere. But the fact was, few seconds in the sharpshooter, it forced Summer Rae to tap out, and that's how Natalya won. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't very interesting. I lost a bit of interest in the middle of this match, or in the middle of the show, I'd say. But yeah, that momentum, that build up, got back into this match with Dean Ambrose versus Kane, and really the result was very disappointing. Just like last night's Night of Champions, Ambrose won by disqualification. Backstage, Triple H told Rollins to stop starting fires. Before he had a chance to expound on that, Ambrose attacked against his security guards, had to restrain him. But then once Kane left, the chair wielding Ambrose, inspired Rollins to retreat. So pretty much Ambrose really did win by disqualification, so it wasn't really his fault. But yeah, I wasn't very happy with this match, so I give it a 2 out of 5 stars. I would say give it a 2 out of 5 stars, to be honest. Then it was Sheamus and the Usos versus Cesaro, Goldust and Stardust. This was a great 6-man tag match. I think all these competitors are great together. I think Stardust and Goldust really have worked so hard to get to this moment as both brothers. As I'd say, I mean, Sheamus in the middle of the match and knocked the champs around some, and only to have Cesaro start pounding on him. Cesaro, hurt the champ outside the ring, then grounded him once they were back inside. That allowed Stardust and the company to punish Sheamus and keep him away from his partners. But the thing was, at the end of the day, Jimmy hit a splash for the win, really collided, and the result was the Usos and Sheamus winning by a pinfall. So what wasn't a very great start for Stardust and Goldust's title reign. But there's always a next time, so we'll see what happens in the future between these two. And another rematch happened as well, Mark Henry versus Rusev. I forgot to give my ratings for the last match. I give the 6-man tag match, I give it a 2.5 stars. I would say I lost a bit of interest in the part of this show, to be honest. But Mark Henry versus Rusev really was disappointing, just like in Night of Champions. A lot of botches in this match, but the crowd chanting USA really got Mark Henry at his position. But the end of the day, Rusev wins by referee stoppage. Really tracked in the accolade. Henry refused to tap, but he blacked out the hold, and the referee had to stop the match because really Mark Henry really just passed out. And yeah, it was a bit bad, to be honest. But honestly, I would give this match a 3 out of 5 stars. I thought it was slightly better than the I think it was slightly better than the pay-per-view match, to be honest. So that's something that was pretty impressive. Then it was the Bunny and Adam Rose versus Heath Slater and Titus O'Neil. I thought this wasn't very interesting. This is the part that really the kids love, and that's the thing that I really hate, because it doesn't really seem very entertaining. It's just the kids love it, just like Cena does or anything. But the result was probably for the kids to really be happy. The Bunny and Rose to win by a pinfall. Really, the memorable moment was really when Bunny dived out onto Titus O'Neil. But the whole story between these two, this was probably something that really was a TV type of moment, to be honest. Really, just to continue the feud between Nikki and Brie Bella, Nikki Bella blamed her loss at the pay-per-view onto the fact, before her sister even came out, for the interview before their match. I think her sister really talked trash about Nikki Bella. Brie Bella came out, and then the twins really bickered a lot, really argued with each other. Nikki said that Brie didn't deserve the Bella name at all. She demanded that Brie give up the name, leaving her as the only Bella in WWE. She would then, insult Brie's husband, and pushed it too far at the fact that Brie would slap Nikki and sent her scurrying off to the ring. And then pretty much AJ Lee soon came down to the ring ready for her match with Nikki. And the memo quote that we actually got from this segment was, you're an embarrassment to the name of Bella. This was Nikki Bella saying it to Brie Bella. I think this is a disappointing segment, to be honest. I think the fact that using the Bella name to this feud and to these twins is just a terrible idea. I think the feud is just awful, to be honest. I think it's simply not interesting at all, because that these two are actually real life twins and they're sisters, and they will probably get along. But the fact that they're still using the name, their last name, is just gonna be obvious that it's just for the storyline. But the acting, their acting has not even improved either. I mean, these acting, the expressions, nothing. It's just ridiculous, really. I think while Mark Hamill or Paul Heyman would probably hypnotize the audience with the performances, I think the Bella Twins really just annoy the audience. To be honest, I think they really irritate them a lot. They really just annoy us. So I give this segment really 1 out of 5 stars. I think it was just awful, just appalling. So really, the collision was just awful. Then it was AJ Lee versus Nikki Bella. I thought Paige, sitting in the commentary, got it a bit attention, a lot of built up, to be honest. But the thing was, AJ dominated Nikki. She really did floor Nikki. I mean, Nikki got floored, and she floored the Divas champion with the clothesline and then pounded on her in the corner. She then threw AJ into Paige at the announce desk, and then holding AJ by her neck, Nikki swung her opponent side to side, and then she wrenched on AJ's arm on the armbar. But then, AJ, kind of gave in. She kind of got her comeback and then turning it into a pin after dodging into the corner. AJ really clamped, and she performed her Black Widow, causing Nikki to tap out. And yeah, so not bad match, I would say. I think the end result was an okay match. Gave the champion a win, but then made Nikki really look more just awful. I think so. I think we need to see a really strong heel performance from Nikki Bella, but we didn't really see that because AJ just won the championship again. So that's something that we need to really make sure. But I give the match a 2.5 stars out of 5, to be honest. I think the main event was pretty good. I would say I think this main event was even better than Cena versus Brock Lesnar, because of Randy Orton versus John Cena. This match probably the highlight, to be honest. Randy Orton had both, Kane and Rollins in his corner, and then Cena had a new T-shirt that read "Keep calm and never give up." So really, we just got something, another merchandise sold again. Anyway, really, this match had a lot of detail in it. I think, in the middle of the match, Cena later, powered out to Orton's grip. He was at his comeback sequence, just the usual thing, but then Orton had a counter ready at every single step, and then spun out of the STF, avoided the 5-knuckle shovel. When Cena finally did look like he had Orton beat, Rollins and Kane pounced on him, and a kick to the head and a choke slam had him flat on his back. But the fact was the result was exactly the same as Night of Champions. Cena won by disqualification once again. Yeah, disappointed, to be honest. I thought the match was going well. Orton was trying to really make his comeback, but then they dragged Cena to what looked like the cinder blocks, and then that made Ambrose get into the picture. But when Kane lifted the cover up, Ambrose was hiding there instead. So pretty much Kane lifted the whole cover thing up, and there he was. He leaped at Rollins, delivering that rapid performance on him. All those rapid punches in the brawl broke out, and really the babyfaces had the heels really just retreating and made them regret that they never made this mistake again. So the analysis was, despite Orton's his amazing performance, this didn't really feel like the main event, to be honest. I mean, blame that on the fact that we've seen these two guys go at it for so many times. Blame that on the fact that the same narrative of Cena, taking a beating and then charging back, the same unpredictable thing that happens. Blame it on the disqualification finish that is really just getting awful and familiar and really just predictable every single time and every single match. But the fact that Ambrose emerging was supposed to be some kind of a stack of blocks was fun. I think it was pretty shocking as well. It's pretty unpredictable. So more predictable was in this moment, but less unpredictability was pretty much in this performance. So his popping out of stuff routine though is becoming a bit less exciting as it continues to happen. So it's time to try something new with this whole story. So I hope the company actually find a different way to make it even more exciting. really, it's just it's just the same old thing, to be honest. I've tried to make this Raw review as detailed as possible, you know, with the highlights, with the reactions, with the grades, with the grinners and everything. I've tried, so I'm gonna try and do that every single week. I hope you guys admire this. I hope you guys appreciate it. And if you guys would want me to go back to the same old review, just like I did before, that's fine. I'll do that. But I think I have enjoyed trying to make a new way to introduce this type of review. But I give the match 2.5 stars, but I give the whole show a 2 out of 5 stars. I thought it was yet again disappointing. It was getting pretty much exciting, you know, the last time, to be honest. But yeah, it's just another disappointing Raw. To be honest, you know, Night of Champions is in the book, and now the fact that it's gone, so is Raw. And really, this week, wins and losses really just got a bit more predictable. But the highlight of the whole show is Dolph Ziggler winning the IC Championship once again, making The Miz the only person to win the championship on a pay-per-view and then lose it the next night, 24 hours later, twice. Is something really memorable. So I hope you enjoyed this review. Let's go to SmackDown. Just when you thought you guys would be over, let's go to the SmackDown review, and let's do this. September 26th of September. Let's do this. I thought apparently this featured a huge battle royal. This was so anyway, let's get started. Alright, so Miz kicks off SmackDown and wants a fight with Dean Ambrose. He is looking for a fight, and he says that he is not leaving until he gets that fight. So Ambrose comes out and accepts the challenge. So anyway, Dean Ambrose defeated The Miz with the dirty deeds. This made Kane and Seth Rollins try to provide the interference during the match, but then after the match, they attacked Ambrose. Ambrose ran through the crowd, stole Rollins' Money in the Bank briefcase. So what we can get from that is the feud is still going on, but this time it could possibly be the Money in the Bank briefcase could possibly on the line. And this could make Dean Ambrose possibly be the next Mr. Money in the Bank. So this could be something pretty good, and to continue their feud for Hell in a Cell. And then it was a battle royal to crown a new #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. It was next. Participants were Bo Dallas, Jack Swagger, Los Matadors, Cesaro, Zack Ryder, Damien Sandow, Xavier Woods, Kingston, Slater, all those mid-card main eventers performance. Pretty much the match came down to Bo Dallas, Swagger, Kofi and Cesaro, and last was Cesaro eliminating Kofi and Swagger at the same time to win the match. So Cesaro won the match, and he is going to be the next #1 contender for the championship. This could be something pretty interesting as to how they push Cesaro, or they could possibly push Dolph Ziggler. So who will they push more? We'll find that out. I think they should push Dolph Ziggler more. I think they don't really need to push Cesaro right now. I think they could do that later, but they need to push Dolph Ziggler even more. The Usos versus Stardust and Goldust was next. The Usos won by DQ when Jimmy Uso goes to put Stardust away. Goldust nails him with the belt, and this was said to be a good match, but then Stardust and Goldust retained the championships, and it actually was a championship match. So really, this was a heel tactic from these two tag team partners. That was something pretty good that I thought. And a backstage segment with Kane and Seth Rollins. Rollins wants to take action on Ambrose taking his briefcase, so they're gonna have to do something really clever to get Rollins' briefcase back. Then it was Layla and Summer Rae defeating Natalya and Rosa Mendes. This was actually said to be a bad match with a lot of botches in the match, so that was something that really caught a lot of the crowd's eyes, attention, sorry. And it was Big Show backstage talking to Renee Young, and then promises to knock out Rusev tonight. So it's official, Big Show versus Rusev will be the main event for tonight. Then it was Cesaro versus Dolph Ziggler for the IC Championship. Ziggler retained the title off a roll up, but then it was clear that Cesaro had the ropes. but the thing is, Cesaro got screwed. So yeah, that was something that was really shocking. I thought the fact that Cesaro versus Dolph Ziggler was right now at the same night that he won the Battle Royal, this could possibly be the fact that it could possibly turn into a triple threat match with Miz, Cesaro, and Dolph Ziggler for Hell in a Cell. Could be something really interesting. And it was Big Show defeating Rusev by disqualification. Once again, it's the same old result, the same old disappointing result. Show chokeslammed Rusev and then went for the knockout punch, but then Lana distracted him, which made Rusev nail Big Show for the win. Nailed Big Show with, sorry, it was not for the win, but pretty much Rusev nailed Big Show with the flag of the Russian for the DQ. And then Show recovered and knocked out Rusev with the punch to end SmackDown. So pretty much Big Show made his promise and he delivered it. Big Show has knocked out Rusev, and this could be a new feud for Rusev. So Hell in a Cell, my predictions, Big Show versus Rusev could possibly happen, or it could be a triple threat match between Miz, Cesaro, and Dolph Ziggler. So your comments, your opinions down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon. So rate, comment, and subscribe. Peace.